Good, just in the office.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us today. I was telling the audience a little bit about you and Tevin, and Tevin is supposed to be joining us soon. And I was like, are y'all friends at all for y'all doing a joint interview?
Nah, it's just business. I got to do what I got to do to him when we in the ring. Then ain't nothing personal. Yeah, it's just
So,
personal once we get in the ring. We just got to handle our business once we get in there.
so how you doing? How's everything going with you?
Oh, I'm doing good, just working.
Yeah. How's training going? Because my understanding is this is your first fight in 2 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, but I'm always around the gym. I trained a couple world champions as well, so I've been in the gym,
Mm-hmm.
just training a couple fighters I've been working with.
Mm-hmm. So has one of the reasons that you haven't fought in 2 years due to COVID and things like that?
Nah. Well, I was training Devin Haney. He's right now he's the youngest champion in the world. Devin Haney is a world champion, so I was just helping him out for the past couple years. So I've been off just doing that pretty much. Then I ended up training a couple other fighters under the same stable.
Mm-hmm. Now you're a world champion yourself. So what was it about this fight that made you want to fight Tavin?
It's competitive, I consider this to probably be my last, year or so of boxing. So I wanted the hardest fight possible, and he was the hardest fight available, so that's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you are lightweight, correct?
Yes.
And so for our audience who do not know about the lightweight category, can you tell them a little bit about lightweight?
Well, for boxing, it's 135 pounds, which it's a different 135 pounds than the natural person walking around. We in shape.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, well, Floyd Mayweather held a belt there. Manny Pacquiao, Roberto Duran, Chavez, many great champions. It's one of the hardest weights in boxing. The lightweight division got plenty of great champions throughout the history of boxing.
Now, did anybody have to go up or down? Did you have to go up or down for this fight?
Nah, we pretty much at this. Nah, we pretty much fighting the same weight. But every fighter, I don't really get. A lot of fighters blow up a lot in weight. Some fighters got to lose 30, 40 pounds. I don't really get too heavy, but yeah, a lot of fighters do have to lose a lot of weight most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you talk about some of the boxers that you have been training since your last bout? You said you've been training some world champions. Can you
Yeah,
talk
Devin
about them a
Haney.
little bit? Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney. He actually got a fight, a big unit, undisputed fight over in Australia 2 weeks after me. He fights for the undisputed for all of the belts, so it's actually one of the biggest fights in boxing, and that'll be in Australia. He's out of San Francisco, Oakland, the Bay Area, but he grew up in Vegas, so I knew him since he was a kid, like 7, 8 years old. So yeah, I've been training him for the past couple years, but I took some time off to get my last few fights in. So I just been focusing on training myself right now.
Mm-hmm. So, how long does it typically take you to train for a boxing match?
Um, I say at least anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks.
That's
Some
it.
sometimes longer. Well, that's for the actual training camp because you can't train too hard for too long. Boxing. Wait, do you mean just for one fight, or what do you mean? Like,
Yeah, you can tell for one fight, and then whatever
well,
else
we
you was going
already
to say.
experienced fighters. I've been boxing almost 30 years, so
Right.
we've been boxing for a long time. But I mean, to learn boxing, you never really stop learning. I mean, sometimes people never get it. It take you could be boxing for 20, 30 years, and sometimes people still have a hard time. It's a tough sport because it takes a lot of discipline.
And You just said that you're constantly learning as a boxer. Um, what is it about your opponent? What is it about Tevin that is what is it about Tevin that you've had to train for outside of your normal training?
Um, well, he got the youth advantage. He's a lot younger than me as far as a boxer. Usually at my age, you would be considered past over the hill, but I'm different. I'm still fast, strong. I'm still at the top of my game, so I'm a different specimen. I'm from Cleveland. You from Cleveland, right?
Yeah, we was gonna get to that.
So all the big cities forget that, you know, cities like Cleveland, the Midwestern cities is a whole different animal. Like people forget, they say East Coast, West Coast, the South, but the Midwest is rough. Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, Flint, St. Louis. We can fight around there. If we can't do nothing else, that's one thing we could do is fight. And we've actually had the best fighters in history. And I came up under the Mayweather family for almost 20 years, who, from Michigan, right next door. So I've been up under them for almost 20 years. His dad trained me for mostly all of my career, Floyd Mayweather Sr.
And how did you get into boxing actually?
Just trying different things. I've done it all: football, track, tennis. My grandfather used to box, but he died when I was young, so I think it was just in my blood. I was always a good fighter. I was a good athlete, period. I was good at football, but what I didn't like about that was it's a team sport, and I was real good at it, but you know, it's a team sport, so I didn't really like team sports.
Mm. So you like the responsibility to rest solely on the individual?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. No teammate or no pot. Like one football team I played on, I was one of the best on the team, but it was a father, and he let all of his friends play. And like even if a player was better, if a guy was his friend, he'd start him in front of me. So I kind of was like, it ain't make sense to me, the team thing, like, so I like boxing because it's one on one.
Now, Mickey, for those that don't know, what part of Cleveland you from? What high school did you go to?
Well, John Adams would have been my neighborhood school, but it was closed.
Okay.
I'm from around the 93rd, 116th, the east side, over in the Union area, about
Okay.
93rd, 116th, the east side.
Okay. That's
Yeah, I grew up.
actually
I grew up around John Adams.
okay. That's actually where our studio is.
Oh, it is where at?
We on 93rd and well, we're actually near 71st and Kinsman.
Okay, well, I'm from Nelson. I don't know if you know where Dove Park is at, Nelson Avenue.
I think I do.
Yeah, I'm from not far from 93rd and Kingsman, maybe like 5 minutes.
Okay. I think I might know where that's at. So
Yep.
you guys are going to be fighting in it just slipped my tongue. You guys
It's
are
in Dubai.
thank you. You guys are going to be fighting in Dubai, but I'm looking at your Twitter right now, and it's some parts. So you still got the motherland. So I'm also seeing Ghana,
Yeah, it
Accra.
was a mandate. It was about a COVID restrictions and this and that. So, we didn't have time to deal with all of the politics of that, and it was a lot of stuff with that. So we just went on ahead and moved it where it's pretty much normal like it is now, as far as all of that. No restrictions and stuff like that.
Okay. And what are you
Yeah.
looking forward to about heading over to Dubai for this fight?
Excuse what you say?
I said, what are you looking forward to about it? Like,
Well, it's business, but I do want to see the culture. That actually was on one of my probably number one lists to go.
yeah,
Yeah, that was one of my number one things to do was to go to Dubai. So to be honest with you, I'm killing two birds in one stone.
yeah. Because I was going to ask, were you going to have a chance to get a little bit of downtime?
Not well, not much before the fight. I could probably look around and stuff like that, but I'll be there a while. So yeah, probably a little bit, but I'll probably stay after the fight, and get to have more downtime after.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. Can you hold on while we take a break really quick? You got maybe about 5 more minutes for us. Would that work for you, or
Yeah, I
you
got a
got some
few
more
minutes.
training to do?
Yeah, I got to train, but you from Cleveland, so I got you. I got a few minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm actually from Shaker Heights. Does that count?
Well, everybody, Shaker, Shaker,
Cuyahoga
Shaker.
County.
My family live in Cleveland, so small that everything is Cleveland. I mean,
Yeah,
Shaker right down the street from Kinsman, so
yeah.
Cleveland is small, so it's all Cleveland.
Where are
Even
you
Akron is
located at right
considered,
now?
huh?
Where are you at right now?
I'm in Vegas. I live in Vegas now, but my family actually live in Shaker Heights
Oh,
in
really?
Beechwood. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they live out there now, so
Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna take a break really quickly. You're listening to Her in the Huddle. We have Mickey Bay, champion fighter, with us, talking about his fight that he has coming up on May 21st. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. 1 minute.
Scared me.
All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Mickey Bay, who has a fight coming up May 21st in Dubai against Tevin Farmer. And Tevin was supposed to be joining us. It doesn't look like he's here just yet, but we do have Mickey Bay with us. And Mickey, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, it looks like we do got Tevin on the line with us.
Yo,
Tevin Farmer, how you doing?
how you? I'm okay. I can't complain.
Good. Looks like we got Mickey Bay with us on as well. And I was asking, I'm like, you guys are set to do the interview at the same time with us. Are you guys friends at all?
I mean, it's business. It's
Yeah.
business. You know, when it comes to boxing, when it's time to get in the ring, that's all it is business.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And it looks like I got Marshawn Powers with me. Is Willie on as well? Because I can't see. Is Willie
I
on?
I can't see. It's a big little sign in the middle. I can't see nothing.
well, I meet y'all back.
All right, I can't see as well. But so
Yeah, it's a sign. It's a sign in the middle of the screen.
yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna work on trying to get that removed. So we were just talking with Mickey about this bout that's coming up. So congratulations to you as well. And Tevin, you want to tell our audience a little bit about yourself? I know you're from Philly, and I know you're excited for this fight that you have coming up. Can you tell the
Yeah.
audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, just from Philadelphia. Started boxing late, 19 years old. Was able to become champion of the world at the age of 28, and I'm looking to become a two-time champion. And one I did it at 135, at 130. Now I'm looking to do it at 135. May 21st is going down.
And you haven't had a fight in about 2 years. Was COVID one of the reasons why you haven't had a fight?
The first year, COVID was one of the reasons. The first year for sure.
All right. And what is it about your opponent that and Mickey's here right now. What is it about your opponent that you're getting ready for, or what was it about him that made you want to fight him?
I mean, I seen his tweet one time on Twitter, and I was actually ready to fight again anyway. And when I see his tweet, I'm like, what other fighter is better to come back to than fighting a guy like him, a veteran, somebody that can fight. So I'm like, listen, let's get it. He from Cleveland, I'm from Philly, and we both feel like we got the best fighters in the world from our city. So we finna settle with May 21st.
Yeah. And how excited are you for this fight?
Man, I'm excited. I've been training my butt off. It's been a long time coming. I'm ready to get back. My fans ready for me to get back, and I just can't wait. We got like 2.5 weeks, and I'll be ready for sure.
2.5 weeks, that's coming up quick.
Yeah.
So
It's,
I'm sorry, did somebody have something to say? I
no,
can't see.
I had a question.
Go ahead,
Um,
Marshawn.
I mean, I'm from Cleveland as well. I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be a Cleveland versus Philadelphia fight going on in Baltimore. I mean, and not Baltimore, in Dubai. Tell me, what makes you say Baltimore? I mean, you say Philly has the best fighters. What makes you say that Philly fighters are better than Cleveland? I'm curious. I never.
If you ask anybody in the world, Philly is known for they being a fighting city.
No, I disagree. I say
Philly
back in the day, but the
Philly
Midwest,
known for being a fighting city.
nah.
Even
But the
even e- even
Midwest,
to the even to this day, like
no,
Yeah,
like
but
we got some of the best fighters.
no, y'all
I was.
y'all do got some, but the Midwest is like where Roger
Yeah,
debunked
but you
everybody
can't.
when he
But
said
you
all
can't.
the
You
greatest
can't go.
fighters.
You can't compare the Midwest to
No,
Philly.
even Ohio, period. Like
Yeah,
coming up.
you can't compare the Midwest to
No,
just
even
Philly.
Cleveland, right? Even Ohio. See,
Because
we
if you,
got
if you compare our tri-state, we got Philly, Jersey, Delaware,
no,
DC.
we
That's our
better than
tri-state.
no, we still better than y'all tri-state.
No,
Detroit.
hell no,
Listen,
hell no.
Ohio and Michigan. Listen, I'm with a look. You talking about Floyd, James, Tony, Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, Aaron Pryor. You talking about Ezra Charles?
What's up now?
No, even now, Ohio, we got champions out the ass. No, I ain't saying Philly is one of the best, but
No.
I'm saying y'all known for being warriors, but on that slick shit and that crafty shit.
Well, May
Oh,
20,
oh,
May
oh, my
20, May
fault. Excuse my
21st,
language.
May 21st. This is about
But
7
it's
4.
bigger than
It's about
Cleveland and
7
Philly
4 and Mickey
because
Bay first, and then Philly and Cleveland next.
but
But
this my thing. It's a worldwide thing. Like a city don't this ain't a like I get what you're saying, yeah, but it's an individual sport. That's why I like it because you could be from anywhere. Roger Mayweather said this. Everybody get their ass whooped from everywhere. Whether it's Cleveland, they get their butt whooped from everywhere. You remember Roger said that? A dude tried to tell him, "Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from here." He like, "Huh?" Floyd from Little Grand Rapids. Like, see, our cities is small, like 200,000 of 100,000 fit, but we got freaks like that come out of our cities. Like, we not from a giant million people, 2 million, 5 million. But I do give Philly props though, because if I had to name the best places, I would say Ohio, Philly, Michigan, California. So yeah. So when it comes to, I can't take nothing away because Philly is. I got a house in Philly. I got I got family there. So
yeah,
I definitely get Philly props. Like me and Tevin both could fight. That's why we coming to fight.
listen, it's gonna be. Listen, I'm be honest. I know he coming. I know he coming to beat my A, and I'm coming to beat his too.
Oh, we
That's a
coming to
fact.
prove. Listen, we doing this the old school way. We don't believe that either one could beat each other. I don't think he could do nothing with me. He don't think vice versa. So we doing it the real way, man. And I see, honestly, I see people starting to copy us now. I don't know if you noticed.
I ain't
A
peep.
lot, a lot of fighters been kind of going more direct with each other now since we didn't announce our fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
you
mean,
noticed that. I see. I ain't gonna say names, but some of
I
the
mean, I was
biggest
gonna
fights
say,
about.
oh
I
man,
haven't seen it.
you took the word. Well, you kind of took the question I was gonna ask you. If you had to name some names of some guys who possibly was gonna copy our blueprint, who would be couple fights that would possibly try to imitate what you guys going on after
I
you
mean,
guys fight?
I ain't finna throw him under the bus. I feel like if somebody said a blueprint, I feel like somebody should take it. But the fact that we starting the trend is major for us,
I've been
and
seeing it.
nobody has done this in a very long time. From what
Yup.
I know, Muhammad Ali and Frazier.
Yeah, yup. They got
So
together. Yup. He
and
helped. He
a
because
lot of
that's
people are
really
looked
how the
at it from the
game's supposed to
beginning.
be.
A lot of people are looked at it from the beginning like it was bullshit, but now they see it's really finally happening. And when it really happens, people be like, "Wow, them dudes did it," and that's what we need in boxing. The best fight the best get together and make the fights, and we go crazy. I feel like
Yeah.
as two of the best fighters present fights to TV networks, TVs won't turn them down. But fighters not intelligent enough to do that, and we did it, and we gonna put on a hell of a show.
Hey, and guess what? We did it with no big promote. We did it on our own, independent. What Bay Brother Promotions, Tevin Farmer, and Bigger Than Life Entertainment. We got together. This the first time this almost ever happened. Almost us actually doing it with each other independently without like the Bob Arum or the Al Heyman or the big promoters.
Yeah, well, fellas, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I know we went over our time that we had allotted for you, and I definitely want to wish you both the best of luck in this fight. And I look forward to. I don't know if I'll be able to catch it. Will we be able to catch it over here in the United
We'll
States?
get y'all the
for
link.
sure.
Farmer vs. Bay pay-per-view.com. I'll make sure y'all get everything so y'all can post
Pay-per-view
the
with a
link.
PPV.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
well, again, good luck to both of y'all. You know, I ain't gonna pick a winner because I ain't gonna put myself on that pressure, even though I think I already know who I'm riding with. But
I know, hey, bro, I know it's me. You ain't gotta say it though. I know it's me.
Come on, hey man, I've been watching Tevin all my life, but man, my
Hey,
guy
listen, you know what's crazy? It's crazy because like I really appreciate like if you can take a look at my DM, some of the people's favorite fighters is in my DM, and this where I started looking at myself a little different when the people favorite fighters telling me how inspired they is by me. That's why every time I jump on these podcasts and these shows, I always try to give game always because I'm grateful for it.
Sure.
I'm grateful for it, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna talk more, man. I'm gonna reach your DMs, man, and we'll talk more, man, and get some of that
Yeah,
game
absolutely. Everybody, make sure they tune in.
Make sure y'all tune in, man.
PPV.com.
It's gonna be a great fight and support what we doing. We putting this
Hold
thing
on, let me
on
show
by
y'all. Hold
ourselves.
on. Let me show y'all because I'm already in shape. I'm small. I'm already in shape.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, we both.
Oh yeah, I'm in shape. Hold on. I'm in shape.
We
Hold on.
both in shape. It's gonna be a great fight,
I'm in
and
shape.
we promoting it ourselves. So tune in. We gonna get y'all a great show.
I want to before we go, I want to give a big shout out to Bay Brother Promotions, Tevin Foreign Promotions, Sante, Bigger Than Life Entertainment, Doughboy TV, Sprite, the whole nine. We just want to give a big shout out to everybody. We
Shout out
appreciate
to
the love, and we finna
all
go
the
crazy.
promoters.
All right, guys. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to being able to watch the fight and also see what you guys have coming next after the fight as well, too.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna have a lot of big things coming after, so stay tuned.
After I beat him, I'm gonna take him over the cheesesteak like I did John O'Carroll, my boy.
Oh yeah, he owed me. I told him don't take
That's
it
my
personal,
specialty.
man. It's just business. What I'm gonna do to him. Don't take it personal.
All right. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Tevin, and best of luck to both of you guys.
All right.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and you've been listening to Her in the Huddle.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
WOBU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. Hello? Yeah, I tried to tell him not to on video. I tried to tell him to stop cussing. Sorry, Jay. No, it wasn't okay. Okay, bye.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady.
All right, welcome back to WOVU 95.9 FM. This is Her in the Huddle. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And I am here with Mr. Marshawn Powers, and we just interviewed Mickey Bay and Tevin Freeman about the fight that they have coming up. Tevin Farmer, excuse me. We just interviewed them about the fight that they have coming up on May 21st in Dubai. Pretty big fight going on, both former world champions. So we just had them on the line, and they were arguing about whether or not Philly or Cleveland was known for boxing. And I didn't get a chance to tell Tevin, like, we're not just talking about movies here. Because I know when you think about Philly boxing, you think about Rocky, but
No, Cleveland. I mean, if you just remove Cleveland from it and add the whole Ohio aspect to it, I mean, you got Robert Easter out of Toledo, you got Terrell Gausha out of Cleveland, you got Mickey Bay, you got Sean Porter Jr. out of Akron. So I mean, we got some big time fighters out of the Cleveland area. I mean, Philly, you got a couple guys. You got Danny Swift Garcia. You got I don't know if Zab Judah. I think Zab Judah's from New York. But Philly has some guys, but I think Ohio, whole Midwest, I don't know, man. I got to go with Mickey Bay on that one. So that was a pretty good interview, a pretty fun interview. I kind of knew when you get both fighters on there, it's tension. They are preparing to fight each other. They're preparing to go at each other. They're training to hate each other for anywhere from 10 to 12 rounds. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of figured we was going to get that tension between those two. I was good. I always wanted to experience being in between, two fighters preparing to fight each other and to feel that energy. So I'm glad we were able to interview Mickey Bay and Tevin Farmer. That was, something grateful to be a part of.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm excited for the fight that they have coming up. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
over there in Dubai. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I got a chance to get into it a little bit more with Mickey because I had him a little longer, and he was talking about
Mm-hmm.
how he's excited to be able to, see a little bit of Dubai while he's going to be there. So I think it's, pretty excited, pretty exciting for the sport of boxing because, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people argue that, boxing ain't what it is because there's no heavyweights or anything like that. But, you look at, Tyson versus Fury and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if there'll ever be a Mike Tyson ever again that'll set the world on
Mm-hmm.
fire, though. Mike was one of a kind. So, did you see the video of him having an altercation with the passenger on
Yeah, he
JetBlue?
beat the guys up on JetBlue. Oh, I didn't see the video and punching the guy in the head, but you just see the clip how the guy's leaking and bleeding all over the place. So, no, yeah, I definitely saw that. You better leave Mike alone. I don't mess with no man. I don't mess with no man that's best friends with pigeons. I don't mess with no man like that.
He still mess with them pigeons like
Yeah,
that.
them pigeons is his best friend.
Yeah, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, shouldn't be messing with Mike anyway. That was a terrible thing to do, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody probably learned a lesson about that. But before I had a chance to talk with Mickey, I was talking a little bit about Brittany Griner and that situation that they have over there. So now I think that they're about to actually make a play to actually try to get her because they have listed her as wrongfully detained. This is
Mm-hmm.
a situation that we haven't talked very much about. Unfortunately, you don't hear much about it in the news. And what are some of your thoughts about the situation that she has going on? And I guess she has some very serious charges,
Yeah.
unfortunately, in Russia. Is very serious, but right now they don't want her to be a political pawn as well. So, what are some of your thoughts? Because she's been detained for 75 days, and now people are relying on the White House to do whatever they can to get her home.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Brittany Griner is being detained basically off the stature of who she is. I mean, am I taking up for what she did? No. You're not supposed to be taking THC cartridges in Russia of any place. That's something where, And if it ain't homeland, I wouldn't try to sneak that any other place. But I don't think that she should be treated as a animal. I think I mean, people don't know, and there's documentaries out there that shows you how the Russian officials treat their people and treat prisoners. It's just inhumane how they're being treated. So I think that, I'm glad to hear that she's finally being released, or they're making attempts for her to be released and for her to be, headed back to the U.S. I feel like if there's anything criminally that she did, I think that should be, done while she's in the U.S. Maybe she's suspended from the WNBA, or, if she does her court proceedings virtually over the U.S. But I just think that, somebody like that, I think she needs to be home, especially with the tensions that there is in Russia. I think that she needs to be home and then figure everything else out once she's at home.
Well, the WNBA is going to be kind of honoring her a little bit and having her jersey number and decals on the court in a effort to show solidarity to bring her home. So I don't think she's going to face anything here because I think hashish oil is legal here.
Yeah, but I, I don't. Is it that big of a deal? No, but to other countries like Russia, it's a big of a deal. And I mean, yeah, the WNBA is supporting her, but who's to say that they don't like, oh, fine her or something for putting them in the bond, or as somebody as being a face of the league, kind of. It's more so politically wise, like you're the face of the league or one of the faces of the league, and you're doing this and that. If they do decide to punish her, they may not punish her, but I'm just saying if they do decide to punish her.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation because like it reminds me a little bit of that Otto Warmbier situation with the guy from Cincinnati, Ohio, who went into North Korea and stole a
Hmm.
sign, and pretty much they jailed him and beat him to death. And when they were finally able to get him released over to this country, he pretty much was in a vegetative like state because they had beaten him so bad here, and he passed away pretty much as soon as he got here. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, in other countries, it's just they play by a different ball game and a different set of rules, and sometimes you are never safe. And that's one of the things I'm looking at it. You look at it, is a possible racial element as well too. Is that one of the reasons why she's going through what she's going? I'm not 100% sure about racial relations and Russia, Moscow, but I'm assuming that there's not a lot of black people. So if anything, as anti-blackness is a global thing, so I'm sure that extends to Russia. You've kind of seen what has gone on, a little glimpses of how Europeans treat black people with the war going on in Ukraine. So I look at it, as a racial element as well too. And she's a high-profile basketball player, so it's just a very unfortunate situation. And hopefully, she can be brought home safely, and the State Department puts more of a priority on this and getting her back home because this went on a lot longer than it probably should have.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. She should have been home 30 days ago, but because of who she is and things of that nature, they kind of played it out. But I think the time is now here for her to come home and be around her family and all those good things.
Yeah, hopefully they can get her back home soon. So, Marshawn, we got about 5 minutes before we go to break. I want to get your opinion about the Cleveland Browns draft. So, I know that's something that I said that we wanted to talk about today. What's your draft grade for the Cleveland Browns?
Um, I give them a B minus, C plus. I mean, was it a solid draft? No. I mean, they addressed the position needs that they needed to address, but I feel like you could have got a better receiver a little earlier. I wanted them to get some top tier receivers a little earlier, and go for. I was a little surprised they drafted a kicker in the fourth round. That's what really kind of lowered the grade because I mean we all know you don't draft kickers that early unless this guy's like a generational kicker, like a Justin Tucker mixed with Phil Dawson mixed with what's my guy? Sebastian Janikowski. Like this guy better be, you know, like legit for you to draft somebody in the fourth round. So my favorite pick was the Perion. What's his last name? The guy we drafted from
Winfrey.
Oklahoma, Perion Winfrey. Yes, I ain't gonna lie. I was laying in bed. I wasn't laying in. Yeah, I was. I was laying in bed listening to the draft because I was tired, and I had dozed off a little bit. But his interview woke me up because my headphones was in my ear, and all I heard was the "I'm a dog," bro, and that woke me up. I was like, man, who is this kid we drafted? And I think that guy. I think that dude is gonna be a monster. I like his energy. I like everything about Perion Winfrey. That was my favorite pick, followed by I think they did good with the David Bell pick. I mean, the Big Ten had a lot of good receivers last year. You know, Jahan Dotson that went to the Washington Commanders. Obviously, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. One guy that went to my school, University of Maryland, that got hurt, who I felt like would have been the third receiver, would have been third, fourth receiver taken off the board had he not got hurt this year with Dante Davis. That was one of the guys who I told you was leading in the Big Ten and receiving, was far away at the time one of the best receivers in the Big Ten. So, you know, the Big Ten put out a lot of good receivers, and I think David Bell is going to shock a lot. He's not the fastest, but he's a great route runner, got great hands. I seen him. Some of these cornerbacks that supposed to be great cornerbacks that go to Ohio State, I've seen David Bell, misuse and abuse. So I'm excited to see what he does for the team. But I mean, it wasn't a a it wasn't a solid draft, but it wasn't a bad draft at all.
I mean, don't you feel like they drafted for need and they got what they needed out of the positions that they drafted?
I mean, yeah, they drafted for need, and at the time that they was in with the players that they wanted, I feel like they got who they wanted. But you can always hope that you get somebody better. I wanted for a first receiver. I didn't know Washington was going to take him early, Jahan Dotson, but I wanted the Browns to get Jahan Dotson because he would have been a solid number two, solid number three, official number three guy. I thought he would have lasted to the second round, but you can't always get what you want. So I'm just going to ride with him, see where it goes. We got Deshaun Watson, and I think if you got a good quarterback, your quarterback's supposed to make your receivers better. So I'm just going to trust in that and go from there.
You think they took the best available at every position?
The best available person that fit their culture, that fit who they want to be a Browns player. Yeah, I feel like they took the best available player. No, because if you did, you wouldn't have took no kicker in the fourth round. There's no way you get me to believe a kicker was the best available player at that point in the fourth round.
This one is a tough one though, because it happened a couple years ago with John Dorsey, where they drafted a kicker and it didn't work
It
out.
didn't
But
work.
this guy is supposed to be the real deal, and you need a kicker, and he could be really good.
We'll see.
You know,
Uh, they said that about what was the kid that came out of Georgia, Rodrigo Blankenship. Well, not Rodrigo Blankenship.
I'm about to say, because ain't
The
he
kid,
pretty good?
yeah, he's pretty good. The kid that came out of Florida State, Roberto Aguaye. That's who I'm thinking of. Roberto Aguaye, the kid that came out of Florida State that played with Jameis Winston. They said that kid was supposed to be like the next great thing, and he didn't pan out. So I think the best kickers are the ones that you don't really know they're going to be great, and they just pan out to be great.
Yeah, I
So
I I think he's gonna be good.
yeah,
I think
we'll
he's
see.
going to be good. And I mean, I'm hoping because I'm like, this is be the second time that we drafted a kicker in less than 5 years and it didn't work out for us,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So yeah, I think everybody keep their fingers crossed. And this regime kind of seems like they know what they're doing more than any other regime. They've had
Hmm.
some pretty good draft picks, some that hit, some that are still projects. But I feel as if this regime kind of gets it. John Dorsey was kind of that aggressive, wheel and deal guy, but I feel like this regime is slow and steady. A slow and steady approach wins the race with them, and everything that they do is calculated, and every move that they make, they're doing it for a reason, and they know
Hmm.
that this draft will pay off 3-4 years later down the line. So I think that's one of
Hmm.
the things that they're thinking about is slow and methodical with the way that they went about it, and fill certain positions and all. One of the things that me and Kate talked about yesterday was depth. due to injuries, and also you have an extra game on the season. So you needed that depth, because now you got 5 running backs, on your roster, and cornerbacks and stuff like that. We talked about as much as we love Denzel Ward. He has had some injuries, some soft tissue injuries, which keeps him out of games. So that corner pickup was something that was very important to depth, and especially when you have all these quarterbacks that you have in the AFC. That's going to be something you're going to need quarterback play, because you got a lot of pass happy quarterbacks. So that's something that's important for depth and things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and take another break. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We will be right back.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Mr. Marshawn Powers. Marshawn, what's up with you?
Nothing much, nothing much. Chilling in South Carolina, trying to make my way back up to Ohio soon. I'll be back tomorrow.
You in South Carolina?
Yeah, I'm in Charleston.
Okay, how is it down there? I heard it's very pretty down there.
Yeah, it's nice. Good food. It's warm. Ain't too bad. It's hot. I heard the weather up there is very beautiful in Ohio too. Heard y'all getting
Uh,
like 30, 40-degree weather.
no, it's 68 right now, so
Oh,
mixed
they
with a
made
little
it
bit
seem
of
like it was
rain.
bad. 68
Well,
ain't
yeah,
bad.
it's supposed to rain bad. The Guardians got rained out today, so
Mm-hmm.
they canceled the game pretty early. So they're playing a double header tomorrow, and so the weather is what it is. It's supposed to be a little bit chillier tomorrow, maybe 60 degrees. So not just yet spring, just yet, but it's coming. It's on its way, albeit ever so slowly. So the Guardians got rained out today. What are your thoughts so far early in the season on this team?
It's an up and down team. We're talking about a
Mhm.
team who just got destroyed by everyone with like a 7 game, 8 game losing streak. So I
7.
mean, 7 game losing streak. So I mean, they're just learning. It's a young team. They got some vets on there that know how to win, but they have to teach these young cats how to win. So just what I expected, a up and down first quarter of the season to figure out, the rotation, figure out, you know, who's gonna stay on the team, who's gonna stay come late August when you're on that playoff push and things of that nature. I really like the fact that Tristan McKenzie is starting to step up and play better, and you know I thought we would see a Savale of last year, but he's struggling a little bit. So I mean, I didn't really get my hopes up. I kind of thought this year would be a playoff miss year anyway, so just kind of watching and enjoying at this point.
Did you say you thought that they was gonna make the playoffs this year, or you thought they
No,
was
I
gonna
thought
miss
that
them?
was. I didn't think they would make the playoffs this year until we
Yeah.
start spending and adding some extra people on there to help. Our stars. I think will be kind of on the outside looking in for at least another year or two.
Well, actually, the AL Central probably could it could possibly be a possibility for them because right now the White Sox aren't doing too great. Kansas City isn't doing too great, and Detroit isn't doing too great right now. Now the White Sox were predicted to possibly go back to the playoffs, but the way and win the division, but the way the White Sox are playing right now, that might not happen. I know that they have a lot of injuries, so you're waiting on those, and mainly it's to the starting pitching. So you're waiting on those
Okay.
injuries to heal up. So the White Sox could be in contention, but right now. Minnesota Twins are leading the division, and Byron Buxton right now is hitting the cover off the ball. And Gabe Kepler, always has been a Guardians killer. So right
Uh-huh.
now they're leading the division. So it could be interesting. We've kind of had trouble with um, the Twins, especially because they hit a ton of home runs, and they have a very home run friendly park. But we've struggled against the Twins, so we haven't played them yet in the series. So that's going to be something to behold when they get a chance to go against the Twins because they swept the White Sox. So we'll see what happens when they go up against each other because right now the Minnesota Twins are number one team in the AL Central.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, I thought that. Well, I mean, it seems like they're having a bounce back year after last year was a year catastrophic. Was a year of catastrophe for them because I mean, we all thought the Twins were going to win the division last year, and they didn't, and they kind of fell off the face of the earth. So I'm not surprised that they're back on. Especially you added a guy like Carlos Correa to your team with Byron Buxton, and that pitching rotation. We got a steep hill to climb for the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, and usually run support is going to be the thing in which that's going to get us over the hump. So it's like they hit in bunches and then they go ice cold. So you need them to heat up. But one of the things is always, especially at the beginning of the year, it's like either the pitching is going and the bats aren't going, or the bats are going and the pitching is
Facts.
terrible. But you
Yep.
have a pretty decent pitching rotation, like you mentioned. Aaron Savali has had some issues being able to be extended. Tristan McKenzie just got his first win on Sunday, so that's something good for him. You have Anthony Ghost coming out of the bullpen, but that starting rotation is where your bread and butter is going to be. And I just don't know past Shane Bieber how it's going to fare out right now.
Mhm.
Because
No,
Zach
for sure.
Plesac has had a little bit of trouble too. So
Yeah, we don't. I mean, outside of Shane Bieber, we don't have. I mean, you thought you had that number two with Savali last year, but after he got hurt, and in the summer he never really looked the same. Plesac, he's always been that wild card for me. I always liked him better as maybe a number three, number four spot. And then anybody after that, Tristan's emerging, but anybody after that is kind of an unknown. So I think, man, we need to sharpen up, spend a little bit more money. I mean, spend a little bit more money. I don't know how much I can, really say that till I turn blue. But if we spend a little bit more money, I think we'll be fine.
a little bit, I think we need to spend a lot more money.
Hmm.
You have a team that has one of the lowest payrolls in all of baseball, which they're consistently very low. So you definitely need to spend more money. Not a little bit, but a lot. But I look at Jose a step in the right direction, and maybe they will start giving out a little bit more money in contracts. Because, like I said, I hate for them to try to follow the blueprint of the Tampa Bay Rays, in which Tampa Bay was able to make it to the World Series with the lowest payroll, and you don't want the Dolans thinking, yeah, we can do it every year, have a low payroll and still compete because that's just not the way that
That's not, yeah, you can't do that.
yeah, that's not the way that baseball is going. So they definitely need to change their mindset. So NBA playoffs right now. So I want to ask you about this Miami Philly series. Does Philly have a chance? Joel Embiid is going to be out for game two, which I believe is tomorrow. Will Philly have a chance to possibly beat Miami?
No, not without Joel Embiid. Miami's too deep. No, you asking for somebody named James Harden to turn into the Houston Rockets James Harden, and you just seen that last night. I think he had 4 points in the second half. Miami got way too many people to throw at James Harden. That could confuse him. And then you got a young guy in Tyrese Maxey that I don't know if he's too dependable right now as far as being a playoff guy. Being a guy, a go-to scorer in the playoffs, and then Tobias Harris just isn't, reliable. So he had 27 last night, but you can't rely on Tobias Harris to put you over the hump. So without Joel Embiid, like I was telling the guy earlier, without Joel Embiid, I give them about a 15% chance to beat Miami. With Joel Embiid, I give them a puncher's chance, but they need Joel Embiid back. They need that dominant scorer in the middle that can, you know, be a presence and get shots open for guys like James Harden, guys like Danny Green, guys like Tobias Harris when, he's being triple team in the middle. So without the presence of Joel Embiid, I don't give him a chance.
Yeah, I don't know. When the series goes back to Philly, it's always a little different, having that home cooking and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
hopefully Joel Embiid does come back so it can be a series, because this is a series that I was looking forward to. Could Philly possibly knock off Miami? It could be done, but like you said, without Joel Embiid. But Joel Embiid, has played away from the low block as well and developed a little jumper too. So he's kind of been, not just that player in the low post, and he's kind of been, that all around player who has been kind of good, off ball as well. So he creates a lot, and, everything goes, through him, offense and defense. So, it's a shame that they're missing him, because, definitely he is, the key focus point of the series, and to be without him doesn't make it much of a series. So, I'm not I would say, Philly had, 5 straight wins against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, the sports fan in us want them to lose and wants them to lose bad. But I think for a good basketball matchup, I want to see Joel Embiid and this Philly team take on Miami.
Yeah.
I think that's a good matchup. Right now, so Milwaukee leads Boston shockingly 1-0. So yeah, Milwaukee got that win in Boston too. So that was pretty interesting.
They have nobody to slow down the Greek Freak. I mean, it was easy for them to. When I say them, I mean in Boston. It was easy to defend Kyrie and KD when you don't have nobody to go down low. You got 2 jump shooters who just really want to play ISO ball, but now you got a guy and Giannis Antetokounmpo who is a freak of nature. Guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you could probably stay in front of him, but he gonna put that body into you and make you pay and make you hate life. So, we gonna see.
And then before we go, because we almost at our time, Golden State, Denver. Can Golden State not that Golden State, Denver, but Golden State, Memphis. Can Golden State upset Memphis?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think they're gonna
The
win?
other way around should be, can Memphis upset Golden State? Golden State is the champs. They got that champion DNA, champion mentality. As long as you got Steph, Clay, and Draymond and Andre Iggy, Memphis is not beating them boys. I got Memphis and Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals, and I got Milwaukee and Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals.
What was it? Repeat it again.
I got Golden State and what did I say? Golden State and Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals,
Okay.
and I got Milwaukee and I got Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. Well, Marshawn, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you to Mickey Bay and Tevin
No
Freeman for
problem.
joining us as well. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We are out of here. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, Rachel, I'm out of here.
Thank you, Marshawn. I'll talk to you later.
All righty, no problem.
Okay. Bye.